So, you've just got Toribash, a game that looks amazing. You started it up, and you've tried to move your character. There's only one problem. You can't even stand on your own feet. How's your day today? Alex here, and this is not what's supposed to be usually your usual gaming videos. This one's actually a tutorial on the game called Toribash. You've seen it on my YouTube channel. Now, before you say that, why am I making this? There's so many on YouTube that I don't even need to make my own. First off, it's just for my fun, so shush. And second off, most of those tutorials are good, but they don't actually explain the fundamentals of Toribash. So in this tutorial, I hope to build from basic knowledge, like how to move the camera and other things, up to being able to run, being able to punch, being able to kick, and being able to stay on your two goddamn feet. Now, before we get into this, I should probably mention first that the tutorials will be based on my own skill. So, at one point I'll stop producing tutorials, and only when I have something new that I think you should learn, then I'll produce a tutorial for that. It's based on my own skill. I am no master. I am only a yellow belt. Yes, you heard me correctly, a yellow belt. But enough chatter. Let's get into Toribash. So, what even is Toribash? Toribash is a game where you have this little ragdoll over here, very classy, and you basically click on his joint to perform actions. And then once you're happy with what you're doing, you hit space, and then you can probably change where he's going. So yeah, you can see how horrible I am at this game. Oof. But I'm sure you're worse than me, so it's best that I get you up to my skill. So first off, how do you even control this camera? Well, there's two methods that I'll teach you now, but there are two others that will come later. The first is called default camera. To access default camera, press 1. Alright, you did? Good. In default camera, when you hold the right mouse button down, when you right click and hold it, you can rotate the camera. You can also hold shift to tilt the camera up and down. And to pan out, you can bring the mouse forwards or backwards to pan in or pan out. Try all of the camera controls. Pause the video now and try it. Right, you did? Good. The second way is called free camera, and I usually use this for insane moves that require a lot of precision. In free camera, you can use W, A, S, and D to move the camera around. Q will raise the camera, and E will lower the camera. And holding shift will make the camera look. Although you can also use the right mouse button to make the camera look wherever you want. Now, whichever camera you use, you'll want to stick with that camera, because even though cameras aren't the usual norm for the games, it is very important that you know what these things, as sometimes you'll find that you can't use the default camera for something, and then you'll have to switch to free camera, but then switch back to do more moves. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry. Let's get on to the second part of this tutorial. Now you know how the camera works, but it's going to be useless unless you can move your Tori, or your ragdoll here. It's called Tori. So the first thing, so I'll go through each joint one by one and explain how they can be used and where, why, and any tips I can give you on them. So let's start with the neck. The neck can extend or contract. By contracting it, you can make your Tori look up. By extending it, you can make your Tori look down. The neck is probably not used that much. It's just for look. It's usually used for looks of making your Tori look somewhere. However, it's also sometimes used to keep balance. That's the idea. Also, if you want to know how to confirm a move, you can hit space. That's to confirm a move. It's best that you don't follow along. It's actually best you don't follow along with me right now, and only after the second tutorial you should follow along. But the pecs. The pecs can extend or contract. Extending them puts your arms behind you, and contracting them puts your arms in front of you. The pecs are usually used for punches, but they can also be used to stand to help yourself stay up, or they can help for jumps. The shoulders I use a lot. They can make you raise or lower your arms. The shoulders are useful for uppercuts. Though they also can debalance you. So be careful. The elbows, they can be contracted or extended. The elbows are usually used for preparing for a punch. You know how you contract your elbow and then extend it when you're going for the punch. But they can also be used to help balance, and mostly in running I've seen people contract the elbows. So the elbows are used for balance or for punching. The wrists. The wrist can be extended or contracted. The wrist is used for usually when you want to grab something. More on that just after this. But it can also be used for increasing the power of punches. For instance, whenever you punch, you'll extend your wrist to get more power. And you can also contract them if you want to prepare for an extension. The hands. The hands actually do not contract or extend. They are more of the grabby type. If you set them to grab mode, they'll grab the first thing they touch. And when I mean grab, I mean the hand will stick to it. Uke's all the way over there. That's my opponent, if you're wondering. More on that later. He's all the way over there, so I can't show you, but you can grab or ungrab with your hand. Neat. Now, going down, the chest. The chest rotates your entire body. Usually when you use the chest, it will unbalance you very quickly. However, it is used to gain velocity into your punches. The lumbar. Probably the hardest body part to grasp. The lumbar actually makes your Tori bend to the sides, and this unbalances you, and this can both unbalance you and rebalance you. So like if you're falling down, you can bend the lumbar to one side in order to keep yourself up. Most of the time when you start out, you won't be using it, but as time passes, you'll start to use the lumbar more and more. The abs makes your Tori lean forward or lean backwards. Of course, as you can see, it destabilizes you. But that's fine. It's fine, all fine. However, because you can always restabilize yourself if you know how to. The glutes. The glutes, or your butts, can make you extend your legs like you're doing splits, or can make you contract them like you really need to go wee. The knees, oh sorry, the hips. The hips, you can contract the hips. Obviously, it destabilizes you. Or you can extend the hips. The hips are a very important part in running, but they also help you. That they're also your main kicking source of energy, where you get the main kicking power. The hips can also be useful for just doing pretty much anything. Whoa. The knees. The knees can be contracted or extended. Ow. The knees are usually for kicking something, but you can also use them to gain momentum. You can also use them to gain momentum. Hit. I'm just trying to get myself back up. Well, the final joint of your tori is the ankle. The ankle propels you up if you contract them. Well, you can contract or extend them. Extending them will probably propel you up, and contracting them, it keeps it like that. Do not use the ankle is probably going to destabilize you a lot, so it's best to use it only in certain situations. Oof. Some other things, each joint also has two other modes, the holding and the relaxing. It's best to show you this by using the, okay. Best to show you this using the shoulder. By holding them, you're keeping them stiff. By relaxing them, you're going to have them fall to your sides. Or you're just going to have whatever you're relaxing bend. Basically, you're relaxing that joint. It can bend freely now. Like, you can see I just relaxed my hips. Now they're falling, but if I now tense them, then they're just going to be tensed up. Relaxing and extending is, well, learning how to relax and how to hold is very hard to master. Not even I have mastered it, but you have to if you want to get to somewhere. The final thing I want to teach you is the C button. When you press C, you immediately harden all your joints, but when you press C again, you relax all your joints. That's the basics of Toribash. In the next video, I will go into depth on how to actually get your tori moving, like what I was doing, how to get your tori moving, because you want to learn that as well. And also, I will also teach you the basics of watching a replay. So that's all for it. Subscribe to me if you want to see more gaming videos, or if you're more decoding videos, I have those too. If you like this, press the like button, and I'll see you on the next video. Wait, hold on, wait, I should have done this before. Hey, I didn't fall on my back.